James Cole from Sky Sports News. Go ahead, James.
Hi, Eoin. How you doing?
Good, James. Thank you.
Can I just ask you to start with about the signals from the balcony? How did it come about?
There's no real signals. There's always been constant communication, verbal or physical, from the changing room to us on field to, I suppose, help improve my decisions as captain and Joss's decisions as vice captain, to try and correlate the feeling of the flow of the game and what we think is the right decisions against the data that we've already researched coming into the game, and as the game progresses, how that might change. And it's something that we've used a lot pre-game and are experimenting with during the game now, in order to try and see if we can improve our performance on the field. We're always looking to improve on this as a team, and certainly me as captain, I want to get the best out of our players in order to get the best out of our team.
And did it help? Did you utilise it?
There weren't many decisions that varied mine. I think there were 3 in the first game, 2 in the second, and a couple in the third. So it's nice to know that the majority of the decisions that myself and Joss and a lot of the bowlers on the field are making actually replicate what we feel is right in the game.
And are you happy it's in the spirit of the game?
100% within the spirit of the game.
What makes you say that? Why do you think it's fine?
There's nothing untoward about it. It's about maximising information that we're taking in and measuring it against things, coaches' recommendations, again, the data about what's going on. So there's nothing untoward.
Do you think it will catch on? Are you going to continue with it?
Yeah, we're definitely going to continue with it and give it enough sample size to see if it makes a difference to or improves our decision making on the field, or improves our performance, or it might tell us more about how we understand information that we're taking in during the game.
And heading into this one-day series, what are you looking to get out of it?
Yeah, we're looking to win. Obviously, we don't have a full strength side here. The one-day campaign since the World Cup has been about building a squad with a view of the next 50-over World Cup in mind. So it's quite a long way away. The priority is obviously T20 cricket, with 2 World Cups back-to-back before the 50-over World Cup. So with that, I think the games that we've played, we've seen a lot of exciting talent both during this summer and throughout last winter, where guys have come in, taken opportunities, and we have played some great games of cricket, really nail-biting games, which is fantastic. I think South Africa are a strong side that will pose a lot of questions to us, particularly on their home conditions. So I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you. I'll let Will pick up.
Thanks.
Okay, we'll go with Will McPherson, please.
Hi, Eoin. How are you planning to balance your side? Do you see it being similar to the T20 side? Would you consider the second spinner? You obviously don't have Ben this time to kind of provide that balance, or Sam as well. So how are you planning to juggle that?
Yeah, well, we haven't been to the ground yet. Just having had a glance at the wicket, that's sort of over one from the T20 wicket that we played on the other night and in the first game. It looked pretty green. Obviously, we train this afternoon and we'll have a little bit of a look when we get down. So we'll make a decision probably on narrowing a squad and leave the decision then until tomorrow before we name the 11. if it still looks like we need to take that time to make the decision.
Is 50 over cricket now the opportunity for some guys who are kind of on the outside looking in the T20 squad to force their way into your thoughts for the T20 World Cup next year? It's kind of inverted a bit from what it was for 4 years.
Yeah, I think it is. I think probably given the strength of the squad in the T20 series that we put out, and probably will do for one maybe or two more series before the World Cup. There will be limited opportunity in T20 games. So in order to get a bit of a run, it'd be nice to see guys stick their hand up with the opportunities that they get in 50 over games between now and the World Cup. Now, obviously, series are shortened with the new system that we're now playing. There are only 3 games. So in order to make the most of it, we'll do our best to give guys a run. It's obviously not easy if you only come in for 1 of the 3 games or 2 of the 3 games in a series, and then you sort of move on and there's no series then for a couple of months. But outside of that, we're still looking at other competitions for guys to put their hand up and show the talent and I suppose game that they possess and what they would bring to a full strength side.
Cheers, Will. We'll go with Rory and then John Norton, please.
Hi, Eoin. I think we've all asked you at some point over the last couple of years about Joe Root missing out on the T20 squad. So for a bit of variety, I thought I might ask, what are the chances of David Milan going the other way and breaking into this 50 over side?
Yeah, I think David has been outstanding since he's come into our T20 setup. He's obviously not had very many opportunities in a 50 over shirt. The last game I remember him playing was the game in Dublin where he actually did his groin or his quad and was out for the game and a period of time after that. Certainly, we're not short of guys to bat at the top of the order. David is obviously in consideration outside of the squad and talked about, but like myself, he's a very similar age to me. We don't know what our bodies will be like in 2 or 3 years' time and where the 50 over game will be. If it's going to continue to replicate T20 cricket and the scores continue to get higher and the intensity of the game continues to get higher, is that going to place more physical demand on every player? And if so, is a 36 or 37-year-old guy going to be able to fulfill, the high intensity stroke standard of a World Cup? So there are questions to be asked of myself and David, but I think at the moment, given the abundance of talent we have at the top of the order, we're looking to grow our squad with in the back of our head thinking we want to build on the abundance of talent, experience that we have in the side at the moment.
Thanks, Rory. John, please.
Hey, Eoin. I'd just like to go back to the topic at the start of the interview about the coded messaging coming from the dressing room. There was some viewpoints put out on social media following that from former England captains suggesting that they would be almost morally outraged that they were being told what to do. As someone who's been in and around the England camp for a decade and more, can you give me an idea of the way the game has moved on, the way the game has changed insofar that how a similar kind of suggestion would have been taken when you started as a player to where we find ourselves now with the game?
Yeah, I think captains are different. You get captains that I think really enjoy, I suppose, the title and the power and the accolades that go with it. And then you've other captains that continue to be pushed and want to learn for the benefit of the team. And for me, this is a system that we're going to use to try and help myself and the other leaders within the side almost take a little bit like the emotional and the feel of the decision making on the field and compare it to the hard data that is continuing to feed information into us and the guys off field. And for me, captaincy hasn't changed a little bit. I think as leaders within a group, you continue to change with either trends of younger players coming through, trends of the game, and what's needed at that moment in time.
I'd like to talk to you about Johnny Bairstow as well, if that's okay. Now, there's a kind of view of Johnny that he bats best when he's got a bee in his bonnet, when he feels he's got something to prove, when he's angry, essentially. That's how we kind of saw his century in Sri Lanka. It's kind of how we saw his, when I say we, I suppose I mean TalkSport, and when he scored the match-winning innings in the first T20. That's how it's kind of caricatured. Is that how the dressing room sees Johnny? Do you, when he goes out to bat in similar situations, is that how you view him? And if not, how do you view him?
No, that's certainly not how we view him. We see Johnny as one of the best players in the world, particularly in the white ball format. And to say he only performs when he's angry, I think is undervaluing Johnny or not giving him credit where it's due. Johnny performs against the best sides in the world. He takes the best bowling lineups in the world on and succeeds majority of the time. So we feel that he's one of our best players. So when he walks out to bat, we're thinking we're delighted to have him in our team.
And lastly, can you tell me, do you think it's a benefit that you play limited overs cricket for England only, insofar that it gives you an opportunity to work in and around the county scene? I mean, not necessarily in four-day cricket, but it means that the players that come into the team, into the England side, you've come up against during the summer. So you actually have some kind of knowledge about them before they actually represent England, in terms of having to face them or play alongside them.
I think that's a difficult question, because obviously the regional stuff that we play in county play against. So my knowledge in playing against people that play in the northern group of the T20, and to get a feel of what they're like on the field is poor, because I never play against them. But my all-round knowledge of their game, because of technology, is excellent. There are very few things that are missed nowadays, and this has been going on for a considerable period of time, that everybody is logged and coded, and there are very few players that come out of the blue that haven't been either involved in a county age group or a national or regional representative, maybe academy, let alone squad. So it's very rarely that you miss a player coming through. So to come back to your original question, I think it is a benefit for me, because I'm good at white ball cricket and I'm terrible at red ball cricket.
Thank you very much, mate.
Okay, last one, George DeBell, please.
Hello, everybody. Good day, Eoin. Is it fair to presume from what you said there that everybody in this squad is seen as being a viable option for the next 50-over World Cup?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, George.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you.
Okay, we're done. Thank you.
Cheers, guys. Thank
Cheers.
you very much.